Wasn't it good to be in Wisconsin tonight? Yes. It's good to see all of you here. My name's Chad Lee, and I'm running to defeat Tammy Baldwin. It's about time, isn't it? Yeah. You know, throughout history, it becomes necessary for us to vote certain politicians out of office, and I believe that in 2010, this is that year. And with your help, I believe that we can do this. And don't you agree this is that year? Yes. That's right. Well, a little bit of background on myself. I grew up in Mount Horeb, and I still live there, and I see there's quite a few people here from Mount Horeb. If you're from Mount Horeb, raise your hand. Yeah, so we got some good representation here. It's good to see some friendly faces and some hometown faces. I've been married to my wife. It'll be a year on Monday. She's from Texas, so we're kind of excited to have our one-year anniversary. We'll probably take it a couple days prior since the primary falls the day after. That probably wouldn't work out so well, but it's been just a great year. You know, she lives in Texas, or she grew up in Texas, right on the border. So it's really given us a unique perspective with the whole immigration policy. When we go back to visit her family, we see the war zone down there. We literally see the tanks, we see the machine guns, we see the soldiers. And we have to secure our borders. And every time I go down there, it reminds me how, you know, how far away we are from the border up here, but how important it is to the security of America. Right now I own and run a residential and commercial cleaning company. It's based out of Madison, that's where our office is. And so we clean homes and businesses all over Dane County. In the beginning stages, I was the one on my hands and knees scrubbing floors, cleaning toilets, all that dirty work. And now after years of doing that, after balancing budgets, after creating real private sector jobs, making payroll, and I don't have a money printer either, so I actually have to balance budgets, unlike Tammy Baldwin. It's turned into a successful business. But you know what? We have an even bigger mess to clean this time in Washington, don't we? Absolutely. Yeah. Now, some of you may have seen this. This is one of our signs that we've put all over the districts. Now, don't be fooled, this is not me. I know some people when they're driving by, they gave us a call and said, I almost got in a car accident because I thought you were standing on the side of the road with a sign. But this is a unique way of reaching out to the independents and the undecided voters. And we, as I said, we have these signs up all over the district. Some of you may have seen that Nancy Pelosi had. Some of you might have seen the Uncle Sam with empty pockets, because they're, you know what, this is such an important election, we have to be unique. And in fact, we were the first campaign in the entire country to do something like this. So we even received national attention. The Wall Street Journal did an article on us last week talking about how unique this campaign is and just the neat ideas that we've been putting forth. So that's one way that we've been able to reach out to the undecided and independents, because you know what, they're not coming to events like this. It's hard to get the message out to them. And so we have to find them where they're at, reach out to them where they're at, and give them the winning message. It's not a fake message. It's a message that resonates to all people all over the country if we can just reach out to them. And so things like this are ways we can do that. When they're in their car, they're not listening to talk radio. They're listening to pop culture music. They go home and they turn on American Idol or whatever else is on, and we have to reach them where they're at. And again, we've been very unique, very strategic, very deliberate in the things that we've been doing in order to get those votes. Because I believe there's a reason why we haven't been able to pull out that 30% the last 10 years against Tammy Baldwin. And I feel that we bring a whole new strategy to the ball game here, and that's why we can win. So who here's been taxed enough? All right, just checking. Just checking. Because I believe that we don't have a revenue problem with the government. I think we've been taxed enough. And most of you just raised your hand, you agree with me. I think our problem is spending. So what we need to do is get spending under control. It's been completely out of hand. If we can get spending under control, a lot of the things that we've been facing as a country, and as a state, and as a second district, will fall into order. Right now, Beloit has a 25% real unemployment. That's insane. That's 1 out of every 4 people in Beloit without a job. That's not just insane, that's sad. Those are families going without paychecks. Those are probably families who are going to have to decide, do I buy food or do I heat my home this winter? And we need to change that. Tammy Baldwin has had 12 years to fix that problem, and it's just gotten worse and worse. And I believe that she's been ineffective and unproductive. And we need to help her pack her bags this fall. You know, if you go home today and you Google her achievements, what you're going to find is that she's been a rubber stamp to Nancy Pelosi. And that's, again, part of our strategy is pinning her to that, because she votes 97% with the Democratic Party. She doesn't have unique ideas. She doesn't have ideas of her own. She follows step in step with Nancy Pelosi. and it's time to bring some fresh ideas to this district. So what you see, what I have here in my hand, and a lot of you have probably seen this other speech. I carry the Constitution with me, and one of the reasons the main reason is that it's the blueprints for this country. This is what our country was founded on. This is what our founding fathers wrote. This was 18 pages long, handwritten, and now we're passing 2,000-3,000 page bills that tell us what we can and can't do, and even what we have to buy nowadays. I think that's wrong. We need to get back to this. And the unique thing about the Constitution is that we don't know what's coming down the pike in the future. Now, once I get into Congress, I don't know the bills that are going to be coming forward 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now. But what I do have is the blueprints, and I can take these blueprints, look through them through this lens, and say, is this constitutional, and vote yes or no for it. And that gives me a peace that I may not have all the answers, but this does, and this is what we can rely on. And so, again, appreciate your support, and with your support and with your help, we can get this district Baldwin-free. Vote Chad Lee. Thank you.
If there's any other questions for Chad, just raise your hand and let me know. But we'll start out with actually the same questions for you that we had for Peter. First one was, what do you think your strongest point is that would actually make people choose you over Tammy Baldwin?
Well, I think we bring a unique perspective to the table. We bring fresh ideas. I was homeschooled till the middle of 7th grade, and I feel that that's given me a very unique perspective on education and even getting it up to speed with technology. We have a system that's been in place for hundreds of years. I think it's been a little outdated. We can make improvements with that. The fact that I'm a little bit younger than most candidates has been just a huge plus in our court as far as going down to the university. We got a couple guys from the team who literally walk up and down State Street with me, passing out literature, talking to college students. We're going to sororities, fraternities, talking to hundreds of students at a crack. In a night we can talk to hundreds of students. And you know what? They're sick and tired of Tammy too, because when they graduate, they're saying either I have to go back and live with mom and dad, which they don't want to do, or I have to live outside, or I have to go move out of state to find a job because we've lost 180,000 jobs in the last 2 years. And so what we need to do is make sure if we're investing in these students, we need to keep our talent and our students here. And I feel that I feel that this campaign brings that perspective where we can talk to them and say, you know what, I know what it's like to be in debt a lot coming out of college and looking for a job, and I want to help you. I want to fix this problem. And again, it's just we're able to communicate to them in a new and unique level. And I think I believe I'm the first candidate since Scott Clue that has actually done that. Aside from that, we've also taken on the unique strategy again with the signs. No matter what I do, I always study history. I study people who've gone before me and looked at what was their success, what was their failure. And before I decided to run, I sat down with Scott Clue, I sat down with John Sharpless, talked to Dave Magnum, trying to think a couple other people, and literally I took them out for lunch and I said, what kind of rookie mistakes did you make along the path that maybe I can avoid? I did the same thing for my business. I took the most successful business owners I knew out for lunch and picked their brain and hopefully avoided 10, 15, 20 years of mistakes that they made. And through that process, we've come up with I believe, a cutting-edge strategy. And a strategy that doesn't just get the 30% that we got 2 years ago, but we can reach into the independents, the undecideds, and get that message out there because, as I said, we've done things in a unique way, in a strategic way. Everything we do is deliberate, and we're going to reach those votes, and we can absolutely win.
Thank you. The second question was, what are you doing to make inroads with university students? I think you touched upon that in the previous answer.
Let me go into a little bit more of that. Actually, Dave Summers back there, he's with the campaign. On the way out here, we were actually talking about some more ideas and ways we can reach out to them. And we're constantly brainstorming, thinking, how can we get our message out? How can we get this winning message out to people? Because, again, it's not that we have to hide our message. We have to get the message to the ears of the people. College students maybe aren't watching even television. Maybe they're on their computers going on YouTube and watching what they want to watch. So we have to figure out ways to do that. We've been very active in Facebook, very, very active in that. YouTube, Twitter, all the social networks that young people are paying attention to, we've really capitalized on. And I think, again, that's going to give us another edge as well.
Is there any other questions about this?
So you've got your message down.
Yeah.
It looks like your organization is coming together.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do with respect to money? What are some of the innovative things that you're thinking about or contemplating that, you know, basically will raise money for you to help the engine run?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll bring these signs up again. These signs in one day get us more views more eyes viewed than probably 3 or 4, maybe even $5,000 in commercials in one day. This sign costs $20. You know, we have 4 in a row, so it's $80 for a set. Those are unique ways where we take every one of our dollars and make it equal at least $10 of Tammy. Every single person that's on our staff is actually a volunteer. Tammy has to pay her people full time. You look at her finance account, finances that just came out, she spent something like $60,000 mostly on her staff the last 2 months. We didn't spend a dime on staff. Again, we're being very unique, very deliberate, and we're making our money count. She has to pay people to help because she doesn't have passion. She doesn't have the winning ideas. We do.
But, okay, let's say you won the primary.
Yeah.
Can you get people like Paul Ryan or
Absolutely.
other people to come and basically help you with fundraising?
Absolutely. We've been, I've talked with Paul Ryan multiple times. I've talked to Tommy Thompson. I've talked to, you know, we've been working for over a year and a half. And, you know, you start out kind of on the outside, and we've been working in, and we've gotten to the point where on the other side of the primary, I feel that we will definitely and absolutely have enough finances to get our message out in the appropriate manner.
Right.